board meeting Wednesday. Beyond the boardroom. Beyond the boardroom.
All right. Well, welcome to another episode of Board Meeting Wednesday. I'm your host, Brad Parker, and we are super excited to have Ray Little on the episode today. Little background on Ray before we get him talking. He was the founder of Perimeter Roofing, ran that company for 8 years, grew it to an 8-figure business, and had a $38 million exit several years ago. Stayed on with the company for a couple years and helped them continue to grow and hit their goals. And then moved over to Storm Venture Group, which is a training platform for roofing companies in the industry so they can learn to really, maybe follow Ray's footsteps and grow their business to the levels that he did. Ray, I want to thank you for coming on. How are we doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Well, Ray, let me tell the guests what we're going to be doing today. So, um, I'm also a founder. I own a software company. I built my company for my retail businesses. And one thing that I learned in growing from one location to 4 locations is I couldn't do it without technology. One location, no problem, I could man it. But as I grew and scaled, I knew I had to have training platforms. I needed POS systems. I needed communication tools. And without those tools, I would not have been able to grow my company to the level that I did up until my exit as well. And so what we love to do is we love to get business owners on that have grown businesses to the point where they understand without the tech, they couldn't have got there. And then really find out the top 3 technologies they're using in their business today and how that's helping not only their business grow, but how does it affect their team and the culture? And then ultimately, what experience does that give to the customer so they have a great experience with your business? So we're going to jump in and dive into those top 3s. Does that sound good?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man.
All right, wonderful. So let's hit it. So number 1, what's the number 1 tech platform you're using today?
Well, using today, well, I want to go back a little bit when I was running perimeter roofing and scaling it from, like you said, one location that resonated big with me. From one location to multiple locations in multiple states. One of the biggest technologies that we used that allowed us to scale and control everything from one location was a CRM named AccuLynx, which was a huge CRM for us. And just to be honest with you, a lot of people are a little bit scared of spending the money because it is expensive, even for a few users. And we had hundreds of users on it, so it was a 6-figure, product for us. But it allowed us to grow the company essentially from one location to being in 3 different states before the exit. Actually, 4 different states before the exit. We had 5 offices on it, but CRMs I think are a huge experience. I mean, tremendous, on scale. And I don't think you can scale without a CRM, especially if you're going to branch out hundreds of miles away.
I would agree with that 110%. In my retail businesses, we use Shop Window. In my business today, we use HubSpot. It's the lifeblood of the business. I find too, when you invest in the right one, it's usually better because it's easier to organize because the CRM can get out of control, right? Like if you don't have it organized, it's not worth anything. So when we're looking at your CRM back in the day, how would you say that it helped give your customers a better experience? What was that key that it did to help you grow?
Well, not only did it, we uploaded, so if we signed a house up for an insurance job and we contracted a job, the contract went immediately in there to go ahead and get the customer in line to get built. Also the contract and the scope of work went in there so the materials could be ordered properly so they'd have a good experience with us. We could send out estimates from that CRM. And also we uploaded all the pictures from the project, like from the attic to all the elevations, that actually protected the homeowner if we were to damaging the siding or any of the other stuff other than the roof, right? The fascia, the soffit, the siding, the brick, the driveway, the attic, if we hit any air conditioner lines or disconnected anything. We already had all the pictures uploaded before the job was pushed through to production. Quality control, and protect them and protect us. If we actually boogered up and tore a piece of siding up, we'd have a timestamp photo from before the project started, or they just now looking up for the first time and seeing that the chimney had some rot on it and a board fell off. They might not have now looked up there because they probably haven't got a new roof in 15 or 20 years. And this is their first time looking up at their new roof, so that protects us.
That makes sense. So ultimately, when I look at business too, there's 3 pillars in business that I think are important. It's culture, which is ultimately the presentation of your business. You want to have a way to book appointments and reservations for your business. And then ultimately, you want to be able to transact, right? So it's all about culture, marketing, and then sales. What I'm hearing here is this is all about your presentation of value, right? You're able to go into a job, identify what needs to be done, document it very well, and present that to the customer so they feel comfortable with making that purchase, right? There's nothing worse than kind of getting, this is what we're going to do, but you're not able to see the befores and afters. And so ultimately, that system was bringing your customers the comfortability in making that purchase because they understood the value you're bringing them.
Yeah, absolutely. We had them signing, DocuSign on the ad pads ever since 2015, where a lot of the blue collar servers, home service providers were still on paper contracts. Some of them still are today, even in 26. But we've been on that, sleek iPads, collared shirts, well presentation, the nice shingle boards. We slide this iPad, spinning around, have them sign on the iPad. They can see the CRM, how organized, how clean it looks. We would like to be considered the Lamborghini of roofing, back then, the Mercedes Lamborghini, the higher end Bentley of roofing, with our presentation, our softwares, even when we pull up in the driveway, a nice, clean, lifted truck, good looking guys that went to the gym.
That makes
Our
sense.
girls,
So presentation,
our
right?
girls, yeah, our girls,
Right.
right? Yeah. If you can't take care of yourself or your truck or anything, how are you going to take care of this project? Especially if we're at a $2, $3, $4 million house or even a single wide trailer, because that's somebody's castle, right? So first presentation is everything.
It's everything. First impression, no doubt. So, well, it sounds like that bleeds over into my second question. So the CRM was helping your customers with presentation, but it sounds like it was organizing everything for your team, right? So they were more organized. They were able to, show up and execute the job that they talked about. Do you feel like that really helped the culture in your business and really helped your team just know what they were working on that day?
Yeah, that was the communication between admin and the field generals or the sales reps in the field. I feel like we had another piece of technology called GroupMe, where it was a group texting app. I think that's what held the culture high. And I was the leader on the GroupMe. I was the first one up in the morning saying, "Let's get it, guys. Let's kill it today. Everybody gets one." And then I would put my the time I got home in, I would take a screenshot of my, my map, and it showed I was getting home at 9:38 or 10:11 or whatever. And everybody would show that they're getting home, late at night, that they had grinded all day. Or, we would share our wins on the GroupMe app. We signed 2 today, signed 3, signed 4, because we'd have all the teams on there and all the guys on there, or Allstate approved this one, State Farm approved this one. So I think that the GroupMe held the culture and the bar high, right on the work ethic. And we share our wins all day, 7 days a week from multiple states too. So
It's funny you say GroupMe. We used that back in my Petland days. We had channels for every business, different channels for different things. The team had to do their daily impacts. They had to put their numbers in at the end of the day. Everybody got to see it. So it motivated everybody and kept that culture strong. So no question, that was a solid. I tell you what, though, I had to figure out, I had to get off some of those channels. And I was like, the GroupMe never stopped, right? It was just
never
like,
stop.
man, never.
Oh man, one of the biggest things, little quick story is we opened up an office in Houston early on, and we were in Georgia. So when the GroupMe stopped here, it was still going strong in Houston because, they were behind. So that's something we didn't think about when we were scaling. So it felt like it was 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it was for years and years and years. It was really wild looking back at it now, the pace that we ran at.
Well, look, for all our listeners out there, I think there's something that Ray says that's very important. If you think that you're going to grow a business to the level that he did, and it's not 24/7, 7 days a week, you are wrong. Okay, guys? Entrepreneurship is 24/7. You got to be there for the customers to crush the game. So, all right. So it sounds like, okay, so we're able to do these great presentations. We got our culture good. I'm assuming if you present that way to your customers versus pen and pad, that's 100% going to help you increase your revenues. And it probably gives you indicators of who's interested and who's not interested based on what they're reviewing. And so it saves you money and time and know where to direct your attention. But how would you say that software really kind of helped you guys drive that revenue line?
Yeah, when you put in the CRM, and we had our other piece, so the Slack, right? So we have leads coming in through Slack, from our door knocking teams, from our Google guarantees, from our call centers, from SEO. So all those were going into Slack at the same time. The GroupMe and the AccuLynx is going full speed, and managers are handing those leads out. Well, when they hand the lead out, they tell where they came from, right? Did it come from Google Guarantee? Did it come from a door knock? Did it come from a referral? Did it come from a real estate agent? So we can measure our KPIs inside the CRM. So when you have those three apps, you know, running full speed and you're tracking your KPIs, then you know where to spend the money to scale, right? So I just think, you know, technology, I mean, that's the only way to scale. A lot of companies, there's a lot of great companies running around here, right? And they're, man, one of the biggest thing I hear from a $1 to $3 million roofing company is they don't want to spend the money on the technology, right? And they have a great SOP and they have everything else, bro, but they're just so scared to spend that little couple of grand a month, and they probably could be a $20 to $50 million entity in whatever region that they're in, but man, they're scared money don't make no money, and they don't got their teams on this technology, right? They're not measuring their KPIs, so really it's counterintuitive, right? They don't even know where to throw the money at their KPIs, because whether you're going to check them on a whiteboard or a yellow pad. So I mean, it's just like a dog chasing its tail. These little companies that don't spend the money on the technology.
It is unique. I've consulted with businesses throughout my entire career, and they're looking at certain things as an expense instead of an investment. And it's like, guys, like, you just need to spend I mean, I even have people today, like, we sell our software for about $3,000 a year, right? So it's not very much. And we help people transact anywhere from $20,000 to $100,000 a month. So it's like, if I bring you in $1 million a year of revenue, what's wrong with $3,000? Like, you just have to be willing to spend a little money to put the systems and processes in place to drive success. Or you're just going to be chasing your tail, like you're saying. You know, I call it the ping pong ball.
Yeah, make sure and pull your hair out, because they got a great business and they're just sitting here counting pennies, watching thousands of dollars, you know, go out the window. It's like, this is the only key component you need. You know what I mean? So yeah, dude, I feel you, especially now since I moved over from, you know, growing a business and exiting now and training them. And I was like, man, you just can't see it. I just want you to see it, you know?
Right. Like, trust me, I've seen it. I've done it. Just do it. I used to have to consult with people all the time on Google AdWords when it first came out, you know, because I saw it quickly. I increased my budget. I realized I could just max it out. My revenues just shot up. And then I'd have business owners doing $500 a month, afraid to do 1,000. And I'm like, listen to me right now. You just need to do $10,000 a month and your entire life will change. And they're like, what do you mean $10,000? I understand it might be scary, but I promise it's just nobody knows that you're there. You got to let people know, and you're going to absolutely crush it. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's, but you know, they eventually see the light, you know, most of them, and get it. And then, you know, hopefully they don't get too depressed looking back in time of all the money that they didn't make.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving over to Storm Venture Group. So you've taken everything that you know, you've put it into this learning center, you're teaching and educating. You guys launched a couple months ago. You already got 117 clients with the goal to get to 2,500. What tech are we using here? Because it's a little bit style different business, right? What are we going to be doing with tech here to grow? What's one of the top?
So Slack is still catching everything. We're getting our Slack is still grabbing all the leads from the drip funnels and, you know, all the marketing guru stuff, right? Running all of our campaigns, social media campaigns, and all the leads go to Slack. The sales team then contacts, you know, the potential client through Slack. That's one of our biggest components. Social media is where we sell most of the programs. So I would say Facebook and Instagram as a platform, TikTok as a platform is where we're getting our clients. And then we grab those opportunities and put them in Slack, and the sales team calls them. And then the training platform right now is actually on LightSpeed. So we filmed all the, you know, all the classes, and we upload them to LightSpeed. Now we're actually moving over from LightSpeed to School. So that'll be the first transition for SVG. SVG has actually been on LightSpeed since day one of, you know, 8 or 9 years. So still tech heavy. Monday, the app Monday is brand new to me, as in a couple of weeks. That's where they ask for the whatever, like the marketing team will ask that we film these certain classes, or we film these certain B rolls or A rolls for advertising. And they'll put the request in on Monday. Then we have 2 videographers, one on the West Coast and one on the East Coast. Will then see that and schedule the shoot, right? So it's still real tech heavy. I mean, it's more tech heavy than actually the roofing company. It just doesn't drive as much revenue as of now, right? Still tech heavy. Everybody's get, well, even virtual assistants, one in Lebanon and one in, China, that we work with, two amazing young ladies that are, running our marketing. We go on there to, actually Google Meet, right? Where we meet on Mondays and Tuesdays. So man, just tech heavy everywhere, right? I didn't even realize it to me you were even talking about it. I've never even thought about it until 18 minutes ago.
Well, it's
So
like some people say that's
yeah.
normal, right? Like I use one tech platform. Like, no, it's not possible. And we end up finding that we're using 10 tech platforms, right?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
so ingrained, it doesn't even feel like tech anymore. It's like just an extension, right, of who you are. Okay, so let's run through these. We'll go through all three. We're going to do Slack, LightSpeed, and Monday. We'll start with Slack, and we're going to hit this up where we go customer, team culture, and then money. So when we're looking at Slack currently in the new business, how's that helping our customers have a better experience?
As soon as they want, as soon as they're interested in the course, they're having somebody reach out immediately, right? It's going from the campaign and it's going to Slack. The opportunity is going to Slack. And then we're having one of our sales reps reach out to go ahead and sign them up or onboard them. If they already paid online, then we onboard them. A lot of them are really like, hey, we just had a storm hit 2 days ago and we need to go ahead and get on this course, right? Because this is our first storm we've ever ran. We're a small company. So the Slack creates the opportunity for us to go ahead and provide the service immediately, so they don't miss the storm. Our business is storm driven, catastrophic event driven. So speed to lead is important, not only for us because we like to make money and we like to sell our material, right? But to get them the education they need for their sales team so they can go out and actually win the storm.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, if anyone's reaching out, if you don't follow up with them almost instantaneously, they're going somewhere else, right? That you're not the only form they're filling out, right? So, customer is going to get immediate assistance, so that way they can feel comfortable and start moving forward with that process. So, I'm sure that bleeds over into the team and the culture because they're receiving that lead quickly and they can move forward with it. Are they using Slack in any way to communicate with the customer or using a clay integration to learn more about the customer, or is the
I think
team using Slack as a communication channel internally?
No, I'm glad you said that, Topher. Like you just said, you just made a great point. Yeah, so that's Go High Level. So we even said that, yeah. So they communicate with the customer through Go High Level. Yeah, you're right, man. You hit that dead on. We think that we just use a couple, man. I feel like I'm now like a battery, right? I'm just now I feel like I'm a piece of software with just cords hanging out of it. So yeah, they communicate with the customer through Go High Level.
Got it. So internally with the team, does the team use Slack to communicate?
Slack,
Like, are you
yep.
okay?
Slack is the form of communication. And then they communicate with the customer, the opportunity, like we like to say, through Go High Level.
Got it.
So
We use Slack at our business at Form Piper too. Like I couldn't imagine not having it. You got all your channels. You're able to, talk to certain people about certain things. People can not be in channels so they don't get distracted like GroupMe, right? So I really love the evolution of the communication tool actually going from GroupMe to Slack. I feel like Slack is a much better, efficient product to be using. I mean, you've already said it, but I'll let you say it again. Obviously, for making money and saving money, if you're able to reach out to your customers immediately, you're going to have a higher close rate. So Slack's helping you get that lead in. Is it doing anything other than that to help drive revenue?
I mean, keeping everybody organized, holding everybody accountable. There's no side texting or nothing like that. We say all communication needs to go through Slack, so we don't have any cultural meltdowns. It's all transparency. There's no she said, he said, right? No going to mom and complaining because dad didn't give you the answer that you want. So it keeps transparency and the standard high on the communication. We don't have side group text or anything like that. So it holds the accountability high, right? That and Go High Level. It holds
Do you
accountability high.
do you have any kind of systems and processes in Slack? So a lead comes in, right? And then
Mhm.
there's an expectation that that will be assigned and someone's going to call. Do they kind of confirm back in that that call was executed and give an update to the team that that lead's been
Yeah.
handled so you know?
Yeah, so they got within 5 minutes, they touch the lead. We have a program where we make sure that they're doing it within 5 minutes, and then they'll go and that'll go to Go High Level. Um, Yeah, and then they'll put the notes in Go High Level. The customer wasn't ready yet, wasn't. Then they'll put notes in there. Finances weren't together. Don't have enough team members. But that'll go into an email campaign and a follow up. Right? We run a setter closer model. So the setter will go ahead and set the appointment, and the closer will follow back up with the information the setter put in. So the setter
Gotcha.
will touch, yeah. So the setter will touch it first, right, and go ahead and get some of the general information and set the call up for the closer through Go High Level.
Got it. Okay, well, let me ask a question as we move on to number 2, because you said Monday, but Monday's new. Is Monday going to replace Go High Level, or is that completely different?
Completely different. Monday's just used for the videographers because they love using Monday, so you can put that file in, and we keep the quality of the video. So that the opportunity, so who uses Monday is the virtual assistants that are in other countries. They communicate through Go High Level because they're doing the editing. So they'll put they'll put what they need filmed, and they'll put that in Monday, and then the videographer will see it, and then we'll double down on us and ask when we can film.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you think about this because it sounds like Go High Level or Monday could be one of the 3 that we want to talk about. But let's go to LightSpeed first and talk about that because that sounds like a very strong foundation of the business. And then we'll come back to the third one. You can pick which one will be number 3. So talk to
Okay.
us about LightSpeed. How are you using LightSpeed in your business to really give your customers a great experience?
So what's cool about LightSpeed? It's super easy to upload the videos to have the classes, right? So we'll upload the videos and create the classes through LightSpeed. What LightSpeed does for the client that has ordered it, we actually make we'll go ahead and write out a training platform on their needs, right? They're like, hey, our guys are really struggling with door knocking, contracts, and inspections or whatever. So the sales rep that actually sold the program to them has gotten this information. We'll go back and go ahead and write them a course in LightSpeed. And LightSpeed is, once they do the course, they can take a test and make sure that the sales rep actually has completed it and passed it. There's also ways to measure how long they're on there. So it's an accountability factor as much as a teaching platform. And we integrate it all through the sales rep is actually writing. The sales rep has been doing it for a long time. We have 2 of them. They've actually been, in the roofing space, and they kind of know that when they write their struggles, they'll go ahead and write the training, that they need, and they'll go ahead and tackle some of their biggest concerns first. And then the LightSpeed holds them accountable on their scores, and that they actually did it.
Got it. Is LightSpeed, is that Brad Lee's technology?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
sir.
Cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
He drops some good content. I've been following him for a long time. Good podcast, got good guests on there. And look, I mean, he grew the business on software, right?
Mhm.
And I think he timed that really, really well. Did a good job.
Oh,
So
he did. It's been out there a long time too.
yeah, he's like one of the OGs in the training space and way ahead of the SaaS, like got into SaaS when it was just like, rocking. So it's good to see that success happen for him. Hopefully one day I can get the same kind of attention that Brad gets. I got to be like, he's the real Brad. I'm gonna have to come up with another.
Brad Part
Um,
2.
okay, so we got that's how it's helping the customers. So as we come over, how's LightSpeed helping your team really just exude that culture inside of the business and making their life easier?
LightSpeed for us hasn't. So it's just the only thing we're using on there is just the handles for the training. So we just had the videos uploaded. The team really doesn't touch it. Other than there's a community in there, right? And we correspond in the community with the clients that have signed up. We can go on the community and ask them, hey, what? So the difference between when I came on SVG and the old SVG is we're uploading new classes every month. So we say this is like a gym membership for your roofing company. We're
Got
not
it.
just uploading 200 courses and saying this is good for the next 8 years. That's what the old course was. They uploaded 250 courses and it just stays stagnant for 8 years. And to be honest with you, those 250 courses are still great. I filmed about 90 in the last 6 months. And I hand wrote a lot of them. But then, that the courses on there are just, we keep uploading new ones because the industry changes a lot more nowadays with insurance companies. that's our mission statement, our so to speak, is that LightSpeed and SVG is the gym membership for your roofing business. We can go in the community and say, hey, what are y'all really struggling with? And somebody might say adjuster meetings, or supplements or whatever. So we can use the community inside LightSpeed to know what our client actually wants, so we can film that next month.
Got it. Well, that's the job, right? Like, it's training. What do you need? And being able to have that community. When, let's say you hired somebody new, for example, right? And they needed to learn the business, would they just simply go through the course? Like, is it an educational platform for the team as well? Like when you're dropping new videos to keep them up to date?
Yeah, so I was just a glorified sales rep the whole time. I mean, I was an owner, right, that owned a large company, but I never left the field. I was still out there doing the whole process from A to B, from knocking the door to climbing, to meet the adjuster, to contracting it, get the scope of work and contract the job and putting it in CRM for it to be ordered. Now I did that over, in about 9 different states, training, hundreds of people to do it. So my whole company was based off me just leading from the front. So for me, I just keep duplicating myself over and over again. And that's the reason I made the course, so that, that guys like me, whether they just want to be a $1 or $2 million sales rep, or they're a manager, or they're an owner that is actually present and not disconnected, everybody can learn from it.
Makes sense. I had to do the same thing as I grew and scaled. I had a training platform. I filmed 100 videos because I found like it was impossible for me to speak to everybody, right? And you're hiring people. I think I had about 150 employees, and so it's just like we tracked our KPIs, and based on your KPIs and where you were at with the business, we had videos that you would go watch inside of our learning center, so you could learn how to be better. So when you look at Lightspeed, just so I understand the product, really with Lightspeed, what you're able to do is contract with them. You now have this learning center platform. You can build that learning center out, which ultimately becomes the product. And then you're selling your product for the markup that you want to sell it for. And Lightspeed's that back end technology. So when we're looking at growing revenue in our business, Lightspeed is the product, right? Like it's what's allowing you to go out and increase that.
Yeah, that's what we're just selling the videos. Yeah, we're selling, we produce content to sell content, and then we make content for marketing material to sell the content. So
Love it.
yeah, it's just a lot of filming, dude. A lot of, I got a hefty non-compete. So this is something they allow me to do, and educate the rest of the guys, behind us.
Well, we know all about making content. My boy Rich, that's running the show here, he was up at my place this week. We shot about 50 videos. It's just nonstop with the content. So there's no question. If you have a business out there, guys, and you want people to know who you are, you got to be grinding on the content. All right, so let's go to number 3. And who do you think would be more valuable to talk about, Go High Level or Monday?
Probably Monday. I don't know. I'm far as me, I'm kind of the content piece. So the Go High Level is kind of on the back end. When I meet with a sales team on Tuesday, probably Go High Level. Monday is just we just use it to upload the content, right, that we're filming. That's all it is. That's all it is for. Man, I didn't even think about this too. We all communicate in the SVG through WhatsApp app too.
Right.
That's connected to the Slack. Yeah, dude. Man, that's funny when you actually sit here and talk to somebody in the tech industry. You don't realize how much you're using. So
You
I'm
got to
on
go
WhatsApp.
make a list and make sure you're using all the tech you
Yeah,
got,
that's
right? You probably got
wild.
some tech you're paying for.
Yeah, I probably need to get up here on a whiteboard and make sure that I'm doing everything I need to do as the leader of the organization, and make sure I'm
No
touching all
doubt.
these handles. Probably
That's that
Go High
Sunday
Level.
check-in.
Yeah, Go
Okay.
High Level. And I'm not that involved in Go High Level, but I do know that the drip campaign, the guy that runs the campaign, the social media campaigns, all the marketing campaigns, that's how we measure his success on the lead generation on the SVG side. So we look at the dashboard and we can see where on the ad spend is big on our product now, right? That wasn't my handle before. I actually had a marketing company before that I paid to do all this. But we can see, our ad spend, right? Are we growing? Are we doubling our money that we're spending on ad spend? We go over that on Go High Level. Also, we can see that the setters and the closers are doing their job. So I would say Go High Level would be the
Okay. All right.
third.
How long have you used Go High Level?
They've been using it for years and years and years. I just kind of get the updates on it. I get the screen share, on Tuesdays now. I'm not too much in there now. I'm mainly like the coach, and kind of the leader, what on the culture.
I mean, I've heard their name a lot over the years, and I looked at their company years and years and years ago. And they have all these unique plugins where you can bring in all these different aspects and build that tech out the way you want it. And it seems like here recently, they've really exploded. More people are using their technology. They've integrated it with AI and they're just doing a lot of really cool stuff from what I've heard.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it talks to a lot of different stuff, right? So it's easier to use to integrate into your business, no matter what it is. I think it's real compatible. It talks to other softwares really easy.
yeah.
And I
Yeah.
know we couldn't do without it. I mean, I know that.
Okay, great. Y'all just heard that. Could not do with Go High Level. Could not do without it. So if you're looking to really grow your business, let's talk about it. But why? Why can't we live without it? So let's talk about the number one thing. How's Go High Level helping your customer experience today?
Well, like I said, everything that actually talks to go high level, all the sales reps, setters, closers, marketing campaign, my business partner can see the dashboard and we can see where to throw the money at, right? We can see who's not doing their job and who is doing their job, and where opportunities are being missed. But like I said, everything basically talks to go high level. It has a lot of handles on. I guess they wrote it where it's real, where it's really the dashboard's real. I mean, a fifth grader could read the dashboard. And then we just go over it all Tuesday. I got one guy that kind of runs it. But he's kind of like quarterbacking through go high level, all the different handles with the marketing, with the emails, with all the lead generation. He's kind of quarterbacking it through go high level. But it is like just a big CRM. I think you can white label it for any business too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's correct.
I think that's what's super sexy about it, right? For people that are real ego driven. I think you want your name all over it and everything. I think it's super. I think it touches all that.
I know because I owned a marketing company for quite some time, and as a marketing company, you can white label it, and then you can go high level to your customers, and then be able to plug in all those services. So what I'm hearing for customers though is you're running all your marketing campaigns, and ultimately you can learn which ones are getting the right attention. So now you can tweak and change your messaging so it resonates better with your customers. So they're going to be more inclined to engage. It sounds like.
Yeah, and they just have a better experience, right? And it's like, there's nothing worse than like, you want a product, right? And you call and like you can't get any help, and maybe you call back or like, dude, I want this. Why is it so hard to get it, right? Whether it be a car or I race mountain bikes or mountain bike or whatever, or whatever. But there's that speed to lead on the consumer side and also on the providing the service side, I think is just tremendous today, because nowadays it's instant gratification. You know what I mean? Like Amazon, like hey, I'm thinking I need these gels, or I'm thinking I need whatever, it's pre-workout or whatever. I can just go on immediately. The instant gratification, speed to leads, what's winning today, right? We're paid for convenience. It should be value your time really high. I'll pay whatever as long as it doesn't put me out for the rest of the day, right?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I love that speed to lead. You gotta, it's facts, right? Like if somebody's
Mhm.
interested, you got to get with them immediately.
Mhm.
So when you think about go high level inside of your team and the way they're using it, um, it sounds like what it's doing for you is it's helping the team understand how to focus on that communication as well, right? And so it really helps the culture of your communication because you know what's working and what's not working. Do you feel like the team's using it for anything else to really just present that culture?
Well, I think when we upload a client or an opportunity in it, even if they're not ready, and the notes are right, we know we can circle back around. I don't think there's ever a bad lead. I just think that there's somebody who wasn't ready yet. The lead, the opportunity is always there, and with the right notes, we ask them, we can follow back if it's early in the season for a young company and their accounts receivable are really low, and we know in August or September in the roof industry, they should be should be a lot of money in that market if they've had a couple of storms. So if the notes are right, we know to circle back around in September, follow back up with them, or if they said follow back up with them in September, if they're using the CRM correctly, and this is not just GoHighLevel, any CRM, that client or that opportunity just wasn't ready then, but we should, the follow-up, right? The follow-up should be good. So if you use a CRM or GoHighLevel or anything, as long as you're using the handle, there's never a bad lead. It just wasn't ready yet. Upload it and put the right
Makes sense.
notes in
So
there.
culture wise, it gives your team the ability to understand who to reach out to, when to reach out to them to kind of execute that sale, which rolls right into number three, right? It's helping you drive revenue because you're able to follow up with those people and close them later. Do you track those KPIs today, like where you close X percentage of the customers immediately or within an X period of time, but then the follow up cycle has a close cycle?
Yeah, so we have setters that go back into GoHighLevel and go reset them, right? Every 90 days or every 60 days. They'll read the notes and try to play off the notes. And go ahead and reset that appointment every 60, 90 days, 120 days based off what the note said. Then we'll just update it. If they weren't ready, or we do sign that opportunity, or they weren't ready again, we update the notes again so the setter can go back and reset it. So yeah, we use all the handles, and I've used that in roofing and also and you can use it in any service industry, right? Like I said, once that lead's in there and the notes are correct, you go back and reset it. You have a system for the reset.
What would you say your close rate is like after, like, say that first sales cycle is 60 days, let's call it, and then you're following up every 90 days? How often are you closing those follow ups?
12 to 18 months.
Okay, so somewhere.
Just like anything, right? Consistency. Like, damn, I'm gonna go ahead and give this dude the $2,500, so I don't dread this call every 90 days. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing in the roofing space too, right? In the roofing space, it's even cooler because you can put that opportunity in there, that future client or opportunity, like I like to call them, the opportunity, and then we can put them in there by their zip code or what city or state they're in, and then we know we have a hell event or a go back and reset all those, even those roofs weren't ready yet. So technology, I mean, that's, I drank the Kool-Aid early on, dude. And that's why I think I was in and out the industry in 8 years. I bought all the technology, all the storm tracking, all the CRMs, the GroupMe. I bought, the dialers, for the call centers that were in the cloud that people were scared to spend 60 grand on, back in the day. I bought all of them. I was wiring money all over the world for dialers and for, I drank the Kool-Aid on the technology, man. So me and you probably get along right. 'Cause I was writing all the checks of all the stuff that everybody thought was real shady. I bought it all. Like I said, I had the whole gallon like this on technology. Cause I seen that the roofing space was fragmented, and I called it old man roofing, and they didn't understand lead generation and marketing or anything like that.
I think you see that, and that's why we have the podcast. I think, in every industry, you've got your people that drink that Kool-Aid quickly and are just driving massive success. And then you have this other group that's, slow to move. They see it as an expense. And really what they need to hear is they need to hear it from somebody else that accomplished the goals that they're trying to accomplish, to give them that confidence to just pull the trigger and move forward with some of this tech so they can grow and scale their business. So it's been fantastic having you kind of go through them. So recapping, in the roofing space, Slack, we've got GoHighLevel, which sounds like it could be used in the roofing business and in the training business, right? It's a way to communicate. And then the final one was LightSpeed as your training platform, to really just be able to streamline that product and educate, teach, and train. And I think with LightSpeed too, you're using it as a product, but it could be used as an internal training platform for your business, right? Because you got to be able to scale out that information to your team so you can, really get out there and crush it. So
Yeah. Yeah. If you have an enterprise platform, like, what I sold to or whatever, you have an enterprise, business in 5, 6, 7, 8 business, states with doing, 100 million or better a year. That's like a no-brainer that, to do mass onboardings, to have that training platform inside your organization so you can bring on masses of reps.
makes sense. Well, do me a favor as we close. For our listeners out there that are in the roofing business, right, that could use your product, give us the quick 1-2 on what it is that you do, what's the value that they can get, and what's the cost that they can expect to kind of get started with you.
Yeah. So we have a couple different products out there. Basically, I tell it, my motto is, or our core values is, I don't take advice from people I don't switch places with. And we do have the receipts of success here. I was only in the roofing space for 8 years before my multi 8-figure exit, actually, with 2 business partners. But like I said, if you want to see the roofers like the shiny things, right? But if you want to see the receipts of success in and out the industry, scaled it really quick to multiple states, scaled it to private equity, where actually could leave the business and it could keep actually running. But we do on-site visits we stay there for 2 days. Plus, you get the technology, the LMS software, the LightSpeed, and that's $15,000 for us to show up and we knock doors with your team and climb roofs and sign deals and actually do the whole process with them. And then we do have the LMS software, which is on LightSpeed, SVG. The digital program is $2,500 a user for the whole year.
Got it. When you, I guess this is just a question for me, just because I'm in the world of closing sales through financing. Do you offer any kind of financing to those customers or any way for them to pay for it monthly?
Yeah, we do it. It's about $350 a month. So you save a lot by doing the the 2,500, but you can do it for $350 a month too. We
The
do
software,
that.
so it's either
Mhm.
monthly or annually. What about the
Mhm.
on-site? Like if they wanted to do the 15,000, how do you do that?
The on-site is you pay a deposit. You can pay deposit now, but we want to be complete before we get on the airplane.
Makes sense. Awesome. All right. Well, Ray, I really appreciate you coming on the show today. I think there's unlimited value here for people who are in this business looking to take their business to the next level. And for all of our listeners, just so you know what we do, after this show, we wrap up. I'm going to hang out with Ray for another 10 minutes. We're going to talk about goal setting. As entrepreneurs and people who are scaling and growing businesses and having the type of exits that Ray's had, you don't do it on accident. You do it by setting goals and having systems and processes. So we're going to hop in and talk a little bit about that. So if you'd like to check that show out, it'll be the next one on your list. So appreciate y'all joining the show, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Board meeting Wednesday. Beyond the boardroom.